It is better not to talk about some things in this world. Throughout the history of mankind, the great kingdoms and rulers fell only because they swore by one extra word. Today in this video, we will talk about 10 things that the Stoics advised not to share and keep secret. Your wealth and property. The Stoics advised to avoid excessive discussion of one's own wealth and property. As Mark Aurelius said, "Do not value and do not desire material goods, for a wise man lives by wisdom, not by gold." Luxury and wealth can disappear instantly due to market fluctuations, disasters, thefts, and so on. Therefore, stay determined and do not rely on material things to gain happiness. Be ready to lose wealth with cold blood, if that is the fate. Also, do not give in to the desire to boast of your valuable things. This will arouse envy among others and will contribute to dissatisfaction in society. Because people are obsessed with wealth, it is better to enjoy simple, necessary, and not endless accumulation. Focus on the upbringing of your character and intellect, and not on blowing up your way of life. Ethical use of wealth demonstrates wisdom and compassion. Possession of wealth gives only a fleeting pleasure, which soon disappears, but the development of inner virtues gives birth to a real long-term satisfaction, regardless of external conditions. In conversations, try to enrich your mind and life, and not put everything on display. Wise people are inclined to reduce their wealth and emphasize that it is better to use it. They understand that satisfaction comes from within and through help to others, and not just through things. Follow their example and avoid excessive discussion of property, other people's shortcomings and shortcomings. Steadfast people warn against excessive discussion of other people's shortcomings and shortcomings. As Mark Aurelius advised, limit yourself to today. Sticking to other people's shortcomings and shortcomings is ultimately unproductive. We are all imperfect and make mistakes along the way. No one achieves virtue instantly. Instead of severe condemnation, sympathize with why people sometimes act unskillfully or harmfully. This is often associated with past injuries, fear, or manipulation of disinformation. With compassion, we remember, only by God's grace I go. Send your energy to hard work to cultivate wisdom, ethics, and perfection in your own life. Give an example. Actions speak louder than complaints about external things that you cannot control. When people act wrongly, respond with patience and rational conviction, not with reactive anger. We exist to support each other in development and education at every stage. Steadfast people understand our common human error. By condemning or insulting others, you are basically emphasizing your own arrogance. At the same time, it is not taken into account that, from their point of view, you most likely look as imperfect as they do. Stay humble. It is not taken into account that, from their point of view, you most likely look as imperfect as they do. Remain humble. Of course, an enlightened discussion of ethical norms and ways of improving. Each of us is appropriate among colleagues, but malice, which exceeds the lack of context, generates negative feelings in others. Avoid it. Your ambitious plans and desires. Steadfast people forewarn against idleness with their ambitious plans and desires. As Epictetus advised, do not give in to dreams about what you do not have, but calculate what benefits you have, and then, with gratitude, remember how you would crave them if they were not yours. It is best to keep any lofty goals or hopes a secret until you implement them into your life with disciplined efforts. Avoid nourishing your pride by constantly discussing future goals that may not come true. Let your actions and accomplished deeds speak for themselves. First of all, strive for virtue, wisdom, compassion, and inner perfection. Do not crave external rewards such as fame, status, or wealth as self-goals. Joy comes from the right life, not from applause. Keep a full presence and gratitude for the gifts that are already in your life. Fulfill your humble duties carefully and energetically. A good life consists of small moral steps, not of far-reaching glory. Of course, share your plans and encourage your loved ones who support your growth and bear responsibility for you. But do not give in to the broader temptation of vanity, promising too much disappointment to yourself and others. Focus on the development of character, good deeds, and help to others. If you are faced with claims or possessions, let them come unnoticed as a natural result of your principles. Physical pleasure. Stoics advise to minimize conversations about physical pleasures and indulgences. As Epictetus said, limit your pleasure to bodily pleasures so as never to depend on them. Excessive discussion of appetites related to food, sex, rest, and other sensual pleasures strengthens these incoming desires. But the wise abstain from momentary pleasures as from floating clouds, and are not enchanted by them. Cultivate moderation and self-discipline in yourself when receiving any legal, sensual pleasures. Do not allow them to seduce you, depriving you of your mind and self-control. Enjoy such pleasures to the fullest, and then continue to live on purpose. Instead, direct your vital energy to the development of such virtues as wisdom, justice, courage, and self-restraint. They bring true happiness, regardless of external conditions. They are fleeting pleasures that lure like a siren song. Always strive to master your desires, and do not become their slave because of the lack of restraint. Control your passions. Do not allow them to dictate your thoughts and actions. Preserve the sovereignty of your mind. Of course, there is time for easygoing fun with your loved ones, but in general, stay focused on higher goals and behavior. Do not exchange long-term satisfaction for momentary pleasures that disappear like a fog under the sun's rays. Strive to inspire others in your speech, and also live rationally, ethically, and purposefully. Raise the conversation about unchanging appetites and turn it into a rich exchange of opinions. The difficulties you face. Stoics do not advise to overly discuss the difficulties and problems you face. As Mark Aurelius said, art is more like a fight than a dance. Difficulties are inevitable. Meet them with self-control and resilience, not with constant splashing. This often generates an exaggerated negativity that infects your own mind and those who fake it. Look at the difficulties in the future. Perceive trials and pain as an opportunity to show and strengthen such virtues as courage, justice, patience, and wisdom. Overcoming difficulties raises character and leadership qualities. Meet setbacks with dignity and self-control. Do not pass on the details of your struggle to others unnecessarily. Maintain self-control and deal with difficulties rationally, without asking for consolation. Of course, ask for support from close people if it is really necessary. Growth occurs thanks to the correct mastering of difficult lessons. Think about each trial to understand that it reveals to you about life and about yourself. Steadfastly break through the darkest nights to see the coming dawn. Do not stop. With practice, you will maintain stability during life's ups and downs, without blowing away from praise, without blowing away from reproach. You become the eye of the hurricane, concentrated inside, while storms roar outside. Treat difficulties philosophically in order to grow your achievements and honors. Steadfastness is forewarned by excessive boasting of your achievements and merits. As Seneca said, true joy is victory, not truce. Remain humble even in the face of great achievements. Avoid arrogance and pride for your talents and successes. Attribute them partly to the help of other people, luck and the blessing of nature, and not only to your superiority. No one achieves success alone. Give any prosperity ahead. Use your achievements as an opportunity to raise society and make the lives of other people better, and not glorify yourself. Fame and wealth may come, but strive for perfection for the sake of your own merits, and not for the sake of status. Perceive external confirmation as a reason for greater responsibility, and not for pride. Achievements entail the obligation to continue to reasonably use your gifts. Remain a humble disciple on the path to mastery. Do not dwell on the achievements and be dissatisfied with the repetition of past achievements. Continue to improve and surpass yourself, and not cling to outdated achievements. Yesterday's victories mean nothing if you do not develop them. Of course, celebrate progress and allow yourself satisfaction, but do not dwell on merits and trophies. Real joy comes from correct actions, not from claims, rumors and rumors. Steadfastly warned against unthinkable rumors and rumors. As Mark Aurelius advised, Resist the desire of language to spread the sky of faces. Empty conversations about others distract from the goal. Do not dwell on trifling comments and assumptions about the life of people. Do not let this sound garbage spread. If the topic does not lift the mood and does not lead to the path of truth, it is better not to discuss it for a long time. Before expressing your thoughts to others, think carefully about the content and effect of your speech. Are your words positive, useful and responsible? Ask not only whether it is true, but also whether it is good. Send conversations to such important topics as ethics, nature, education, and ways to bring benefits to the world. Inspire others to improve. Do not feed negative patterns with endless retelling of shortcomings. Of course, if necessary, openly discuss the problems and even shortcomings in order to improve your community, but without unnecessary details added to spice up the scandal. Talk with nuances, context, compassion. Empty gossips generate distraction from the goal and discontent from exaggerating shortcomings without eliminating them. The more we focus on the shadows, the darker life seems. Direct your tongue and ears to wisdom. The dignity of humanity requires care about how we communicate. Raise your exchange of opinions. Do not get involved in matters that are not suitable for our common divinity. The right speech exalts everyone. Injustice of fate stands. Do not advise to excessively sow the apparent injustice of life circumstances. As Epictetus said, it is not important what is happening to you, but how you react to it. Sometimes events unfold not in accordance with hopes and deadlines, but complaints about injustice that does not depend on you only generate new troubles. In addition to external conditions, you cannot dictate reality. Do not spend energy on endless complaints about difficulties and misfortune, which cannot be changed. The past is cement. Instead, direct your strength to respond with wisdom and kindness. Facing challenges, seek opportunities to demonstrate the principles of courage, justice, restraint and a transcendent goal. Take the right actions to improve what is in your power. Accept the rest. With practice, you remain indisputable due to ups and downs, on which you cannot influence, without focusing on misfortune and not accepting luck. Personally, you will float along the course of events as they come. Of course, try to correct injustice, but do not be offended by what cannot be changed. In difficulties, look for meaning and development, and not just reasons that can be blamed. Suffering is a part of life. How you react to them determines you. Do not use others, focusing on injustice. Lead by meeting what comes, with self-control, a good mood and determination to shine a light. Your behavior can inspire. Death and morality. Stoics advise to refrain from constant, disturbing conversations about death and mortality. As Seneca said, let's prepare our mind as if we were approaching the very end of life. Let's not postpone anything. Death, hovering nearby, gives life purpose. Set priorities. The inevitability of death should be tuned to use time for good, but being fixated on it generates a painful fear that distracts from the goal. Accept the uncertainty of death calmly. It is impossible to escape it. Live every day as if it were the last. Do not postpone expressions of love, forgiveness, adventures, creative joys. Perceive time as precious and fleeting. Use the moments given to you to the maximum. Be ready to leave gracefully when death comes. Putting your affairs in order, establishing relationships, and realizing potential. Do not cling to life when your season has already passed. Go to meet the unknown with peace. Of course, take reasonable precautions and avoid unnecessary dangers. But you should not decide by avoiding mortality. You can find the meaning of life by accepting it boldly, not hiding from death. Remember that death gives context to what is most important here and now. Set priorities, evaluating the choice in the light of a lack of time. Invest this coming existence with benefit. Do not be bothered by the constant gloomy conversations about death. Enjoy service with a good mood, no matter what. A long life is a gift of even greater generosity. The future stands warned against excessive discussion and concern about the uncertain future. As Mark Aurelius said, look inside. There is a spring of good, and it will always boil if you dig. Naturally, think about the future and make reasonable plans. but being fixated on controlling the future results only creates anxiety, because what will happen, in the end, is not in your power. Instead, focus on living every day with wisdom and service. The present moment is the only time that is really in your power. Take advantage of the moment now. Of course, take lessons from the past and prepare for the events to come, but do not give in to memories and dreams, to the damage to the fulfillment of current duties. Keep the prospect. When you realize that your thoughts are wandering about the future, gently return the focus to the current task or interaction. To achieve progress, it is necessary to meet every minute with an awareness of what has come. This is how you will build a life filled with meaning, which will flow well. Believe that by bringing your character and behavior in accordance with eternal virtues, you will be ready to meet everything that awaits you in the future. Be able to resist uncertainty. Stay focused at all times. Do not worry others with unnecessary worries about hypotheses. Inspire others with a calm presence and reason, focused on today's potential. If you feel that any of these Stoic lessons have found a response in you today, do not hesitate to start a Stoic discussion in the comments. I welcome Stoic discussions because it was they who were advised by great Stoics, such as Mark Aurelius and Seneca. If you liked the video, do not forget to like it. And if you want more of this content, subscribe and click on the bell. Thank you for watching, and as always, I hope that you will find peace and tranquility in the Stoic path.